Hey everybody, welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick, and this is Sonic Advance 2, and start! Got it wrong again, Jesus. Hoop. Nope, way too late. So, last time I was about to tell a story about something that's been interesting to me that I'm gonna need to kind of... I don't know how to describe it. It's such a new experience for me, personally, that I don't really know how to grapple with it, I guess, yet. But... damn it. I mean, it doesn't matter if I get the star rings as anybody but Sonic, because I'm not going to bother with Amy, but two of them right back to back. All right, I'm going to have to remember that those are there for Sonic, though. That's the thing. I think Ice Paradise Act 1 was the easiest one for Sonic to do. But anyway, so we've been doing our D-Pad and Chill series for Mega Man Fully Charged, which has been a show that, like, I feel guilty for how much we kind of ragged on at the beginning. Because there's a part of, like, I mean, all right, there's obviously an aspect of that that's like, you know, me, John, at the very least us, I think Dustin also, and Ian for sure, have been Mega Man fans essentially our entire lives. So you see a product like Mega Man Fully Charged, especially before it comes out, and you're like, this isn't my Mega Man. And that's a scary experience. I think that's something that everybody goes through as you know, works that their fans have become adapted over time. And it's something that's inevitable for a popular franchise or thing in the first place. Like, you know, one of the earliest color film, I don't actually know if it's the earliest color film, but The Wizard of Oz is the first for a lot of things, and even that's been more or less adapted. I can't really say it's been adapted directly because it's actually protected by very specific almost loopholes at this point, copyright laws. Like, it's L. Frank Baum, I think, that did The Wizard of Oz and all the Oz books and things. So the works of Oz are public domain, including is it The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, I think, is the title of the first book in the Oz series? Because it's not just the Wizard... Oh, shit. It's not just the Wizard of Oz. I don't think, anyway. But the book is in the public domain by now. The movie is not. The movie is 79 years old, and it is, for a complicated number of reasons that I don't entirely even know, you know, the full version of, is not public domain. It's still protected by Paramount, I think. I don't remember who actually owns the rights to The Wizard of Oz, like with Judy Garland and all them. And but anyway, Jesus. So things get adapted, and you kind of have to get used to the fact that things will change. And not to get into, like, weird territory with this, but that's kind of one of the reasons that, you know, the stereotype of old people is that they get all crotchety, and the stereotype of young people is that they keep trying to change stuff, is just that's how things go. You know? I mean, there are written texts from literally thousands of years ago, Greek philosophers, who complain that... There we go, got a boost there. Who complain that the youth of today is more interested in fancy than in reading and things like that. Like, it's so painfully identical to every complaint that you see nowadays on the internet. Like, these kids are on their phones all the time, says the 50-year-old who's playing Candy Crush for 5 hours a day. Like, I don't know. It's silly. But anyway... It's a very roundabout way of getting to the point of my story, but I also need to fill 15 minutes of time, so it works. So, basically... Oh, Jesus, I killed the guy, even though those guys have a very... I'm going to go back down here for a second, because the hammerhead part of that looks a lot like Chemical Plant Zone stuff. That same little caution tape design on there and everything. That's cool. But anyway, we saw all the like, early pre-release stuff for Mega Man Fully Charged, and we were kind of like, I don't know, this sounds weird. Mega Mini seemed like a really weird thing, and frankly, Mega Mini is still one of the weakest parts of the show, though they've toned him down a little bit and made him a little less LOL random, which is nice. Peter Punkowski still sucks. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He's just so fucking hard to look at. Like, that's even aside from his really abrasive, shitty demeanor anyway, but him as a visual part of the show is really unfortunate, too. So we've been watching those, and every week we've been putting out D-Pad and Chills, which is, if you're not familiar, D-Pad and Chill is our live commentary series that we do. We've done the first third-ish of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. We've done... At the time of this recording, which I guess this is coming out, I mean, a day after I record it, so it'll be still accurate then. At this point, we've done 14 episodes of Mega Man Fully Charged. We've done 4 episodes of the Legend of Zelda cartoon. We've done D-Pad and Chills of the first... We've done D-Pad and Chills of the first 4 Marvel movies, but we haven't released the 4th one yet. And those ones tend to get taken down for copyright reasons, which I get. I mean... I can't really argue with that. It's really, I mean, I will fight tooth and nail for what I feel are like unjust practices in dealing with copyright stuff on YouTube. But it's really hard to deny that us, adding basically doing a commentary track while showing decent length clips of Marvel movies is not going to sit well with Disney. I get that, and frankly, I mean, Disney has all the weight in that particular wrestling match. So. I'm not gonna get into that much more, but basically, we do the live commentary stuff. We've been doing live commentary for Mega Man Fully Charged, and at the start we knelt into it pretty hard. We definitely were kind of like, okay, this is a thing that exists, I guess, and we weren't really loving it. Ian did not seem to be a big fan of it at all. John was a little less 100% against, and I was kind of like I want to say like a 75% against. I was kind of like, this can't possibly be good. Like, it's something about it felt like it was sort of just doing it for the sake of an anniversary event, which it is, but so is Mega Man 11. But show comes out, we watch a bunch of episodes. We watch the first 10 over the span of 2 afternoons, and do our D-Pad and Chills. Then we do a seriesly, and now we've been watching 4 more episodes that have come out since. And all in all, the first after episode, I think about halfway through, basically, that first 10-episode blast, we started to have our minds changed about it. We started to realize, like, okay, there's something here. We couldn't really figure out what, but there was something there. And the more we started to get comfortable with the idea that, okay, this isn't meant to be an adaptation directly of Mega Man. Like, I know if you watch any one of those episodes, you're probably like, well, yeah, no, duh, like, obviously. But, I'm 31. Mega Man has literally existed for all but the first 8 months of my life in a almost entirely uniform, like, manner. There's been Mega Man and, about 50, 60 games that have come out that take place after that, after Mega Man. And there's Battle Network, which is an alternate universe that uses the same basis but changes Dr. Light from being an engineer to essentially a network specialist. He's DevOps, basically. DevOps and back-end, engineering. But essentially, it's been the same thing for 30 years, and you see something that you're not used to, and it's kind of hard to swallow for a second. You kind of have to look at it and go like, all right, is this... You kind of have to get away from, well, this isn't my Mega Man, because obviously it isn't, and there's kind of an aspect of it as being someone who's 31 who kind of acknowledges, like, I used to love Pixar movies, and I still generally do. I haven't gone to see one in a while. But just because it's something that you liked as a kid doesn't mean that it belongs to you forever, Like, there's kind of a whole generation of people behind you, and frankly, being 31 now, we're almost to the point where there's 2 generations of people behind me. And it's just like, it's a tough thing to kind of get behind on that. Once we kind of came to grips with that, and upon learning that, from what I'm told, I haven't found a direct full source on this. It's mostly been hearsay, but I have heard through the grapevine that Capcom expressly told Man of Action when they were writing and developing the show, don't make it a direct adaptation of the games. Don't make it just the Ruby Spears cartoon again, essentially. And even the Ruby Spears cartoon, let's be real, the Ruby Spears cartoon was a pretty bad adaptation of the games. It's hard to weigh it against Fully Charged directly, only because Fully Charged is explicitly not meant to be an adaptation, and Ruby Spears appears to be a direct adaptation, because like the whole point was to market it for toys and video games. But once we kind of got our heads around the idea that, like, all right, this isn't a direct adaptation, and frankly, being in our 30s, it's not a show really meant for us exactly. I think John kind of nailed it during the last commentary track we did for it, which is essentially like this show has two target audiences. It's got the expectable, 8 to 10-ish range of kids, but it also has probably, we can't speak to this authoritatively, but watching it, it kind of has a sense of this. It appeals and is marketed also toward people who are in our age bracket, in, say, our 30s, who have kids, possibly ones who are in that 8 to 10-year-old. Yeah, that's not going to end well. Is that my first death with tail? Jesus, that went down far. People in our 30s who have a child in that 8 to 10-year-old demographic. Now, there were a couple people who commented recently about, like, so we had mentioned that in one of the commentary tracks, I had mentioned, like, so Mega Man hasn't had a new video game since 2010, not counting Rockman crossover, because did that even make it to the West? I'm not even sure if we ever got that in the first place. Japan got it, I know that much, and it didn't last long. But the last definite worldwide release for Mega Man was 2010 with Mega Man 10. And the last TV appearance that it ever got was, so I misattributed this one. I think it was 2008. In the comments section, I had in the comments section I had stated December 2005, which is the last date that the Mega Man NT Warrior series aired in the West. But we also got Mega Man Star Force, which aired on Cartoon Network, like Mega Man Fully Charged is right now, and I don't remember when that aired. I want to say 2008. But so 2010, 2008, which means it's been 10 years since there's been a TV presence, and 8 years since there's been a video game presence for Mega Man at all. And so there's not a lot... Oh, Jesus. And so because of that, if you're under, say... if you're under, say, 13... the odds of you having any memory, any personal memory at all of a new Mega Man game or a new Mega Man TV show is probably about 0. Like, I don't remember a single... I remember the only stuff I remember from before I was 5... I'm trying to remember... The only thing I remember is, like, it's like a snapshot in my brain of the house that I lived in until I was about 2.5. When I think, I don't know if it was... quick side. Someone mentioned that the hand in this boss battle is actually bugged. The reason it can one-hit kill you is because they accidentally programmed it to hit twice in one frame. So it knocks your rings out and then kills you in one go. But yeah, when I was like 2.5, I think my parents... I don't know if they were planning to get to have another kid, or if, my mom was already pregnant or whatever, but sometime in 1989 into 1990 we moved. But I still have a snapshot of that old house in my head. But I think between that and holding my baby sister on the couch, like, the day that everybody came back from the hospital, that's basically it. Prior to me turning 5. So, like, anyone under 13 probably doesn't really have any crisp memories of a new Mega Man show or a new Mega Man game. So, like, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is Mega Man for a new generation, at least on the TV. But so once you get used to that idea, once you take it as inspired by Mega Man and not adapted from Mega Man, it kind of becomes a different story. It's it becomes kind of like, all right, let's take these ideas, these names, the concept of a robot that, you know, can absorb the powers of other robots, and all these robots with, like, elemental-themed things they can do and all of that stuff. And you start to look at the show and go, all right, this actually is way more in the spirit of Mega Man than we first gave it credit for. So while we're coming to this realization, so by the end of the first 10 episodes, I was pretty well convinced that this was actually not just a decent adaptation, but was so far the best adaptation, at least of classic Mega Man. Not adaptation. I just finished saying it wasn't adapted, but like the spirit of the classic Mega Man games felt the strongest with Mega Man Fully Charged. Oh my god, I've been rambling for so long. I might have to actually put this into a new episode. Jesus. Yeah, this episode's already running long. Crap. Okay. We'll come back next time for Techno Base. That's going to be like the whole damn episode anyway. Later.